knew I was going to see a pretty strange film. I didn't realize that I was going to go see Mexican Mrs. Doubtfire musical crime. Look into your heart, you know it's true.
¿Eres tú? Mingo.
Emilia Perez is simultaneously exactly what I expected from this situation and also something I could have never imagined at all. Yeah, Zoe Saldana is playing a leading role where she doesn't have to be blue or green, or in Star Trek. And I think that's nice for her. She's enjoying it, and you can tell she's enjoying it on screen. She's this lawyer, she's underappreciated at her firm, and she is, the first song, she breaks out into this fiery, it is incredible. It's so intense and frenetic and filled with life, that first song, that really had me going, oh my god, this film's going to be incredible. And there were a couple of other amazing songs throughout it. There were also a bunch of basically just talking songs that I felt was unnecessary and kind of had me going, oh, what in the lame is going on here? Emilia Perez is about a crime boss and fearsome cartel leader who gets this lawyer who's underappreciated, nobody will miss, to come and tells her that he wants to transition into being a woman, fake his death, and start a new life. And that's all great, and they managed to pull it off. Until Emilia then decides a couple of years later that she wants her family back and says, yeah, just tell them I'm a rich, kooky aunt and make them come live with me. And that is when things cheat. I'm very happy that it manages to be so much and doesn't just have to be about it being a trans story, because that's not necessarily what we need, but I love the fact that they had the same actor playing both sides of the character. I think that's so important to show in a more mainstream way. I mean, a half Spanish language film isn't necessarily mainstream, but it had Selena Gomez in it, and that feels mainstream. So it's important to show to a wider audience the realistic nature of this transition. I think that's very helpful. I think it's just educational, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like a trans film. It feels like a redemption arc film, a redemption story. Except Ebenezer Scrooge never cut off this many people's heads. That kind of thing. I think very much, it's hard to say which of the three main actresses is the lead. They are all incredible. They are all amazing. Selena Gomez's character, I found quite jarring, I guess, but only because I'm used to seeing her play such good girl roles. Not because she wasn't great at playing this role, which is very different. I thought she had an incredible song. I thought her arc was a little topsy-turvy, a little whoa, this escalated quickly kind of thing near the end. Zoe Saldana's character I thought was fantastic, and I was just kind of raging. I was upset that we didn't actually get to see that much of her in the second half of the film. Very much she is the lead in the first half. It's a kind of almost, Sherlock Holmes' name is on the poster, but John Watson is the one writing the story and from his perspective, and there's much more of him in the story. This, to me, was a little bit like a person who just can't stop talking, constantly talks and veers between topics a little bit too quickly, and you're just kind of like, whoa! And not necessarily in a bad way. I think a very frenetic, alive, movement-filled film can be great. There are about 10 different films in here, and you would have needed to, I felt like it was a good length, the runtime. I feel like if it had been longer, it might have dragged a little. As much as it is fascinating and a pretty interesting watch, I don't know if I want to see it again. I don't know if it's actually overall good enough and ties itself together enough as a story that I'm that invested in watching it again. I think there are a lot of great parts in there and a lot of great elements, and I can't say it's a bad film. I'm also not really able to highly recommend it. So I'm giving HOTT 3 stars. There should be more Mrs. Doubtfire style films. I feel like it just, it speaks very well against toxic masculinity, even if you're not actually transitioning into being a woman, just in general. I think it's quite fun. I really want to watch Mrs. Doubtfire now. If you like movie reviews that just don't make a lot of sense, then subscribe.